Hi, Sean here. In this video, I'm going to show you a little pointers on how to format your essay in Microsoft Word. Just some things that we commonly see in the writing place, a couple of mistakes or funky fonts, general helpful hints or pointers that'll help you make sure you get the best grade possible on your essays when you hand them to your professors. Okay, so one thing we see right off the bat on this, apart from it being pretty brutal looking, is our page numbers look like they're in the same row as our name. So that's probably just came and hit space a whole lot. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So instead of doing that and hitting space a whole lot and manually putting those in on every single page, and then you'll see if I kind of come over here and hit enter a couple of times, now I lose the page number from the top up here. Instead of having to worry about that, Microsoft Word actually has the ability for you to insert the page numbers yourself. So let me just get rid of these that I don't need. Delete. And on to, oh, see, look, and page 3 now came up. So yeah, definitely not a good habit to get into. So let's show you how you can insert those page numbers yourself manually, automatically onto every page. Up here, we're going to go to Insert. And then under Microsoft Word, you'll see header and footers towards the right side of the toolbar. And we're going to go right to page number. I like to put them at the top of your page. Your professors, depending on the assignment, might have specific requests, so just make sure that you follow along those. I do the top of the page and typically along the right side, so plain number 3. And then what I also like to do is I'll add my last name to it, and that way it shows up. Oh, don't want to enter on that. There we go. And now if I just go ahead and hit close, now you see my last name and page number has been entered on every single page. And if we insert a new page, it'll continue the same thing. Okay, so continuing on, if we start from the top, another thing we see is sometimes for your header, some students will only put their name, some students might not even put the date, they just might put their name, maybe no title, no professor. Again, follow along to what your professor's requests are, but appropriately would be your name followed by the date. So let's say 2018, and then your class, English 111, and then let's say Professor Sasquatch. Why not? That's a fun name. So Professor Sasquatch, English 111, and then we have our title here. Again, according to your professors, some might want your title to be in the center aligned like this. Some might want your title to be along the header. So just pay attention to what rubric's been handed out to you and follow along with that. As you can see, my title is centered here, but it's also centered this whole introduction. Oh, that dragged some stuff over. It's also centered this whole introduction here, and we want to go ahead and fix that. We actually want to make sure our whole paper, well, we have different fonts and everything. We want to make sure our whole paper is properly aligned to the left side. And let's go ahead and select it all. Boom, boom, sounds good. Actually, what we can do, because our heading needs to be left aligned as well, is we can use Control A, and Control A will automatically select everything on the page as well. So we go ahead and hit Control A, and then let's left align. And then again, while we have everything kind of highlighted at once, if you see an empty square up here where your font is, that means that you have multiple fonts on your page. Definitely a big no-no. All right, looks like everything's the same size, 12. But let's go ahead and make sure everything's the same font. So let's go Times New Roman, size 12. It's a classic. Everybody loves it. All right, so now that we did that, looks like we can kind of fix this a little bit. Some capitalization issues here. We see this often. So there, that's our title. And now, again, if the professor had wanted just the title center aligned, just that one row, and that pushes it over. And we can go ahead and bring the introduction back up, and now we see our introduction is still left justified. All right, now in this intro, again, we do have some more of these capitalization issues. We see that's pretty popular. So then continuing on with this, we just fixed our capitalization errors over here. Oh, looks like we got some spacing issues over here after the period. Let's make sure we remedy that. Oh, again here, you just need one space after the period. We see this pretty often. Maybe you're inserting something and it kind of screws up what you're writing or not. Okay, so let's take a look at this now. That's looking a little bit better. We do have this huge wall of text here that we definitely have to do something about. Well, a good thing to do here would be maybe to back these up and then go ahead and double space the essay. So one thing that happens a lot when you're talking about double spacing essays is students will double space the entire thing, heading included, but all you actually want to double space is the essay, the source material itself. So let's go ahead and highlight only that. And now we can come in and we're going to go to paragraph, open up paragraph. And now with paragraph open, we're left aligned, body text is highlighted, indentation 0, right indentation 0. Now this is the meat and potatoes right here, spacing. Before 0 point and after 0 point. If you're ever having any issues with your spacing, always make sure both of these are 0. Because if one of them's off, you might throw your whole entire essay off and be wondering why. Well, I have it double spaced, but it looks so much larger. When we come over here to line spacing, go ahead and just select double. Okay. And now that looks a whole lot better. Let's get rid of this extra material here. And let's see what we got going here. This needs to be indented. We have perfect spacing there. So the first page is actually looking really good. First page, pretty happy so far. Names, everything's right. We have that. Double spaced our essay, but our header's not double spaced. Oh, looks like we need a comma here, so let's go ahead and comma that and continue down. Okay, let's see, page 2. Page 2 is looking good. That's not too bad. It's a pretty long paragraph. Might be able to split that up a little bit. We shall see. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one actually, because we have a really large paragraph over here, and it might not be a bad idea to try to split that. Sorry about that. As you can see, I was able to break those paragraphs up over here. If we go ahead and look, page 3 is no longer one giant block, but we actually have one nice little lead-in paragraph, a couple in the middle, and then 2 paragraphs to kind of finish it up with a really good conclusion. So if we look at this whole essay now, it's come across really well. Just needs a good works cited page at the end of it. That'll be a future video. But for now, as far as the format and a couple of tricks and techniques using Microsoft Word, I think we were pretty successful. Thank you for listening and following along. I hope you learned a lot, and I look forward to sharing more with you here at the Writing Place.